organic, unpredictable, unknown, lovely, beautiful, a sense of fulfillment. This is part of the pleasures of life and not the chores of life.
Coming up on this edition of Daily Iowan TV.
Fatal shootout. A University of Iowa graduate student is dead and 3 officers wounded after a Sunday night standoff in North Liberty.
Downtown delays, an update on a downtown building opening that's a little behind schedule.
And in sports, another Monday, another edition of our new segment, The Box Score.
That's all coming your way next.
Daily Iowan TV starts now.
I'm Tom Brokaw. For more than 100 years now, the University of Iowa community has been waking up to the Daily Iowan. Today, it's the largest newsroom in eastern Iowa. And now you can see the news every night on Daily Iowan TV and get it anytime worldwide at dailyiowan.com.
Thanks for being with us on your Monday edition of Daily Iowan TV. I'm Stefan Duran.
And I'm Alyssa Bergamini. Police officers shot a University of Iowa graduate student Sunday night, bringing a fatal end to an hours-long standoff. 3 officers were also wounded in the incident, which occurred in the Holiday Mobile Home Park in North Liberty, a little more than 8 miles from downtown Iowa City. Homes in the area were evacuated after what was originally a domestic violence call escalated. These cell phone videos taken by Daily Iowan TV's Anna Theodosis showed the scene after sundown on Sunday near Heritage Drive and Highway 965. The sheriff, fire, and ambulance were all on the scene. All the officers injured in the line of duty were from the North Liberty Police Department. The trio was treated at the University of Iowa hospitals and clinics before being released. The injured authorities will all be on administrative leave from the department while they recover, which is standard policy after shooting. Details of what exactly occurred between officers and 28-year-old UI mechanical engineering student Taleb Salome are murky. However, we do know a female was also present at this residence during the shootout. Officers do not believe Salome's 1-year-old daughter was in the home at the time of the shootout. The female victim was physically unharmed. Residents of the mobile home facility were allowed to return to their houses at approximately 8:30 on Sunday night. Finally, records obtained by the Daily Iowan on Monday shed more light on the situation. UI Dean of Students David Grady wrote a letter to the Johnson County Sheriff in March 2010 after Salome applied for a gun permit. Grady's letter urged the sheriff to place a hold on Salome's application pending further discussions with his psychologist and psychiatrist. Grady said, quote, "I have serious reservations about Mr. Salome's intention to purchase a handgun. I recommend his application not be considered until 2011 at the earliest."
The University of Iowa is going to increase parking rates for the upcoming fiscal year. Most changes will occur either July 1st or August 1st. There are about 16,000 spaces to park your car on the University of Iowa campus, and some parking passes will be hiked up by more than $15. The one-time motorcycle pass will see the largest increase, and daily and hourly rates will increase as well, both 5.9% more than their current rates. The UI claims the rates are needed because Iowa City and Coralville are increasing their rates for bus passes, and the university buys some bus passes to sell every year to students at a reduced rate. The rate for parking fines will not increase next year because Iowa rates are in line with other Big Ten schools.
Mark Moan is a mogul in downtown Iowa City, currently working on 3 separate building developments ranging in the area from the pedestrian mall to the Johnson County Chauncey Swan parking garage. The soonest to open will be the building that formerly housed Vito's Bar on the Ped Mall. While it was originally supposed to open this month, the first retail store in this space will actually wait until April. Currently, the building project is about $300,000 over budget. Moen's other projects include a downtown movie theater house in a building called the Chauncey, scheduled to open in September. Moen's final project, the park at 201, is adhering to its $10.7 million budget and is still scheduled to open on the Ped Mall in November.
In Iowa City, Poncheros will be fined $500 for serving an underage patron. The Poncheros Mexican Grill employee at the 925 South Riverside Drive location allegedly served an underage individual alcohol on or around November 17th of last year. The ruling was handed down by the Iowa Alcoholic Beverages Division and is final unless Poncheros' parent company, Fresh Mex Iowa City LLC, files an appeal. And coming up on Daily Iowan TV, the business of pronouncing, how the Tippy College of Business is trying to help professors correctly say students' names.
And in sports, the top 10 men's moments from Carver from the Big Ten regular season.
But first we go to our own Megan Tickner with the weather, and I'm afraid she's got some cold news.
Yeah, Stefan, unfortunately the snowy conditions are likely to visit once again. There's at least a 50% chance of snow on Tuesday, but the high could be enough to keep it away. Tuesday morning, a high of 30 degrees, but in the afternoon it could reach as much as 36. Tuesday night expected to be cold and likely freezing with a high of 28. Looking further into the week, Wednesday's high should get just above freezing as well to hopefully melt more of the snow before it heats up just in time for spring break on Thursday through the weekend. Probably won't see the sun, but the temp could reach a possible 50 degrees on Friday just as students are getting out of their final classes. And for the weekend, temps are expected to be at least in the 40s. Well, that's all I have for your 6-day forecast. Back to you guys.
Recently, the Tippy College of Business began a workshop to teach faculty and staff how to properly pronounce Chinese names. The workshop is conducted at the UI Confucius Institute and Judith R. Frank Business Communication Center. 50 faculty, staff members, and administrators attended the first workshop. This year, the College of Business has 497 international students, and more than 400 of those are Chinese. Many Chinese students have experienced faculty pronouncing their name incorrectly. The Assistant Director of the Frank Business Communication Center, Lisa Leach, thinks the workshop is a great resource for faculty to both learn and show respect to their Chinese students.
They wanted a way to learn how to address the students in a respectful way and sound almost correct, at least more correct than they sounded before.
Now from international students on campus to national news. A car carrying 8 teenagers crashed into a guardrail Sunday morning and flipped over into a swampy pond in northeast Ohio, killing 5 boys and 1 girl. The Honda Passport veered off the left side of the road and overturned into a swamp. According to investigators, the car came to a rest upside down with 5 of the victims trapped inside. The 6th victim was thrown from the car and was found under it when the vehicle was taken out of the water. 2 boys who survived ran a quarter mile to a home to call 911. Officers are waiting for a toxicology report to see if alcohol or drugs were involved.
Well, now it's time for Daily Iowan TV Sports, and now we send it over to our first Monday tandem of the semester, Ian Martin and Annie Constable.
Hello and welcome back to the Daily Iowan TV Sports Studio. A busy Monday edition of our program for our viewers today with the top 10 plays of the 2012-2013 men's hoops seasons waiting in the wings.
But let's start tonight with some disappointing results before we get to the fun coming out of Champaign, Illinois for the Iowa men's wrestling team.
That's right, Ian. The Hawks failed to win a single individual title for the first time since 2006 and finished 3rd as a team behind Penn State and Minnesota.
We'll hear a lot more about this from Coach Brands and his grapplers tomorrow, so we'll make sure we break down everything that went on this weekend with our wrestling insider, Cody Goodwin. But Annie, a whole lot more than just wrestling was going on this weekend in Hawkeye sports.
Definitely, Ian, a lot of black and gold on the diamond over the break. And with that, we turn things over to Chelsea Brown standing by. Chelsea?
Thanks, Annie. And it was an exciting weekend on the diamond for your Iowa Hawkeye baseball and softball teams. For the baseball team, they went 3-0 in their tournament, defeating Maine, Georgetown, and West Virginia due to an exceptional performance in batting. One Hawkeye in particular was Taylor Zutenhorst, who went 4 for 4 in the West Virginia game, taking the final victory in the tournament for the Hawkeyes.
Iowa softball also looking good as they go 3-1 over the weekend.
Our top 10 Carver moments coming up shortly, but for now, it's our latest edition of the box score created by this guy right here. Let's get to it.
That's the number of points per game Aaron White needs to get by season's end to join Devin Marble as the first pair of Hawkeye teammates to both average 14 points in a game since the 2007 campaign, when Adam Haluska and Tyler Smith were running the show in Carver. How about Hawks head coach Fran McCaffrey? White magic has cast his spell on Hawkeye fans, and well, the troops could not be happier. Saturday's Big Ten revenge win over Nebraska gave the Philadelphia native his 300th career victory as a Division I head coach. The Hawks head man will look for number 301 against Northwestern in the Windy City this Thursday at the Big Ten tournament. And finally, we can't stress it enough. Such an up-and-down season for junior Devin Marble, but what the Southfield, Michigan native accomplished Saturday and this season can never be taken away from him. With his first bucket of the game, Marble became the 41st Hawkeye to reach the 1,000-point milestone in Iowa City. Also on that list, his father, Roy Sr., which makes him the first father-son combo to do so in Big Ten history. For the box score, Josh Bolander, Daily Iowan TV Sports.
And you've waited. We're finally ready to go. It's our top 10 plays of Carver's year. Annie, I'll go evens. You go odds? Actually, wait, other way around.
I'll take evens, Ian. Let me take Ian's. Okay, our top 10 play of the year goes to Carver itself. The attendance skyrocketing throughout the year. Now, Ian, you were there for many games. Tell me how you felt about it.
Well, a lot different than our freshman year, Annie, when half the seats were empty.
Definitely, definitely.
Number 9, it's Anthony Clemens. He came off the bench in this game. He's known for his defense, and that often leads to offense. Hawkeyes avenged a road loss to Purdue as Clemens able to get up, a rarity for him this season.
And our number 8 play goes to the last week in Carver. Illinois mounting comeback, almost coming back to beat the Hawkeyes, but Oglesby hits 2 clutch threes to put the Hawkeyes back up, putting them back on the bubble for tournament talk.
Well, Oglesby has a lot of haters. A couple games, though, Iowa would not have won without him. Number 7, Anthony Clemens, again running the fast break after some defense. Little no-look pass. Melsan Basabi will do the rest. He swags out a little bit. Let's take a look in slow motion.
Swag for sure. You can always expect swag from Melsan Basabi. Our number 6 play goes to the win over Iowa State. Now, Iowa State came in definitely the favorite to win, but they weren't hitting many threes, which they usually do. Also, the raucous crowd in Carver definitely contributed to that win.
Yeah, nice alley-oop there by Clemens. So many of these plays he's creating. People don't realize he can be a huge asset. This play also in the Iowa State game, but deserving of itself. Mike, the Professor Gazelle, looking like the old and one mixtapes, and finally Clemens gets to finish it himself. Didn't dunk that one, but still pretty nice as the Hawkeyes beat the Cyclones.
The Hawkeyes really need Gazelle back in the lineup if they want to be successful in the Big Ten tourney. Number 4, dunk fest by the Hawks. Melsan Basabi, May, and Marble. May doesn't get up often, but when he does, it's lights out from that senior. The Hawks won this game 71-57 to end their 2-game losing streak in conference play.
Number 3, how about number 300? Fran got his number 300, and Annie, that's about all he had to say about it, right?
I was in the presser, and he had nothing to say, absolutely nothing. He commented on the team actually winning that game.
Classic coach.
Number 2 goes to the Hawks' struggling game against Minnesota, but they in fact did come back to win after Mel's momentum changing steal here puts it up to May. Again, like we said earlier, May doesn't get many dunks, but when he does, he puts on a show for Carver.
Not a stat sheet stuffer, but a good senior for the Iowa basketball team. And here's Eric May again, changing the game against Wisconsin. Hawkeyes were up by 20 in this game, threatened a blowout, and probably their best win all year, as the Iowa fans seem to think, came because of Eric May, able to change the game late after Wisconsin was coming back. Well,
I was in attendance at that game, and I have to say, the crowd was alive. The Hawkeyes did well, and it was definitely their best win of the season.
Well, see if the NCAA Tournament Selection Committee thinks if it's a good enough win for the Hawkeyes who are still on the bubble. But that's going to do it for us. Our bubble about to burst here in the studio. Be sure to check out tomorrow's full box score in the sports section of the Daily Iowan. And back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks, Annie. And Daily Iowan TV is your exclusive place to find a preview of Tuesday's pages of the Daily Iowan. Hear about another bill introduced to curb voter fraud.
And get the latest updates on the fatal North Liberty standoff. Well, that's your latest edition of Daily Iowan TV. Be sure to check us out tomorrow or anytime online at dailyiowan.com.
Thanks for watching and have a great night.